Welcome back. I'm here with our La Liga correspondent Matt Law to preview Sunday night's big game, El Clasico, Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Matt, let's start with Barcelona. League leaders at the moment, they're absolutely flying.
Yeah, been great form. Won 9 of the last 10 in the league, sitting a point clear at the top. You know, obviously they were playing catch up for large parts of the season. Real Madrid had that incredible, didn't they, 25-game winning run, all competitions early in the season. And Barcelona, I think the important wasn't they stayed in touch. You know, it could have been quite easy to fall sort of off the pace, but they kept picking up wins. And I say won 9 of the last 10 in the league. They're the top scorers in the league, and then they've got the best defence this season, which I think is quite surprising for some. You know, you think about the top scorers in the league with Messi, Neymar, Suarez. That's not much of a surprise, but to have the best defence as well, he's been very good. Bravo's had a good season. You know, Piqué's had a good second half of the season. So 32 league goals for Messi. Obviously, he's two ahead of Ronaldo, which is obviously massively important for those two. I think sometimes it is downplayed how important that is. I think especially for Ronaldo, you know, we'll talk about him later about his reaction to Bale scoring, etc. But for Messi to be the top scorer in the league at the moment, I think he's got 20 goals in 2015. He's been absolutely flying. That's in all competitions, obviously, and he's playing his best stuff again. I think for this particular game, it will be interesting. I think Busquets is injured, so I've been to see what happens in midfield. Probably be Rafinha might come into that. You know, Iniesta and Xavi won't play together. You know, talk about having Mascherano maybe coming into central midfield and Matteo starting at the back, but they've lost the last 2 games against Real Madrid. You know, lost 3-1 at the Bernabeu this season, lost at home last season. So they're obviously keen to get back because it's such a big game. But home form this season's been good. They lost to Malaga and Celta Vigo, but won 11 times and just scoring goals for fun at the moment. You know, Suarez got criticised early in the season, but he was scoring goals. He was assisting. Obviously, those 3 will be the main 3 in this one. And talk about just in general. I mean, their form's just been so good and so strong. And you're thinking if they can win this game and go 4 points clear, then it's not obviously comprehensive, but it'll be a massive step towards reclaiming the title.
So Barca on fire, but Madrid, you know, it's only 1 win in 4 games to them. What's going on?
Yeah, it's difficult to be honest, difficult to explain. I mean, you talk about their injuries. James Rodriguez obviously being injured is a big thing. Ramos and Modric both came back last time out. Well, Modric had his first start. He came back in the Champions League in the week before against Schalke. But they're massive players for them. Ramos, his personality at the back, his aerial presence. Modric in midfield. I mean, Lucas Silva come in. Iliman Mendy's had his games. Kadira, not really too much creation. Isco's dropped off a touch, and Benzema's still been fine in the back of the net, but again dropped off a bit. I think last time out against Levante was just, you know, the game itself was Bale got back to scoring ways in the league after having an 8-game drought, which is obviously important. But Ronaldo's reaction of the main thing, wasn't it, to Bale's first goal, where Ronaldo had one cleared off the line and then Bale put it in, and Ronaldo was sort of appealing that his one was over the line, you know, rather than celebrating with his teammate who's just scored. And Ronaldo's second one, his shot looked like it was going to the bottom corner. Bale actually got a little flick, so Bale sort of almost took 2 goals off Ronaldo, which is it's been made a big thing of. But at the Bernabeu, you know, Ronaldo's the darling. Bale still gets booed there. You know, he scored and his name got announced that he was the scorer, got booed, which is surprising. And Bale, obviously, when he scored, he cupped his ears to the media, the critics that he's had. But I think Modric coming back in the team is important for Bale, because those two have that sort of, he finds his passes and stuff. And if Bale is going to make himself, you know, if he's got to make it up to the fans, which is surprising, because I mean he scored in finals last season when they won the Copa del Rey and Champions League, but to a big performance against Barcelona, you know, that was sort of, it has to make him, you know, well, he is one of the most important players, of course he is, but they're talking about being dropped, which is never going to happen. But if he makes a big impact here, I think the fans will forgive him for that.
Obviously, it's a huge game. 1 point separating them at the top of the table. It probably could decide the title race this game. What's your score prediction?
I think it depends how both teams start. You know, I talk about the first goal in games, how important it is, and I mean, Real Madrid have lost 5 times in 2015. You know, they have been poor. I mean, talk about their winning run earlier in the season. You know, 25 games and everything was going right. Ancelotti is now being quick. You know, whether he's going to lose his job. You know, he won the Champions League and the Copa del Rey in his first season, and they're still in the Champions League in the quarterfinals. Okay, went out in the Copa del Rey, which Barcelona are in the final of that, obviously against Bilbao. But if he can win the league, you know, talk about him losing his job is crazy, really. And he will set up his team here, I think, to be a bit more sort of shapely and a bit more tight in midfield. Modric helps them a lot with that, so I think it will be very tight. Barca maybe start as the favourites, but I can't see Real Madrid losing, to be honest. I think they'll just have enough, and Ronaldo, obviously, if he's 2 goals behind Messi in a minute, I think Ronaldo will score. I think it'll be 2-2.
So it's a Sportsman going for a 2-2 in El Clasico.